talking about the management protocol, we will stick to Pipkin's classification since it is more widely used. For Pipkin's type 1, 2 and 4, an emergency closed reduction of the hip joint needs to be done under sedation and complete relaxation. This is because if there is no complete relaxation of the muscles, it might lead on to an acetabular fracture or even worse, a femoral neck fracture during reduction of the hip joint. The hip may be reduced in any different methods which have already been described. Please refer the video on dislocation of the hip joint for various methods of dislocation of posterior as well as anterior dislocation. Please note that type 3, that is a fracture femoral head with fracture neck of femur. In this condition, a closed reduction is not attempted since if we think about it, if we attempt a closed reduction, all the forces will be dissipated at the fracture neck of femur and it would cause a distraction at the fracture neck of femur, leading to damage of vascularity and ultimately leading to avascular necrosis of the femoral head. And it will be practically impossible to reduce the hip joint by distracting the fracture site. And hence, a type 3 is a contraindication for closed reduction. It is a straightforward indication to openly reduce the hip joint as well as the fracture of the neck of femur as well as the fracture of the femoral head, all by opening the fracture site. Now for type 1, 2 and 4, a closed reduction is done. Once the reduction is done, the stability of the joint needs to be tested. Also to be noted is that the stability is tested if and only if it is a pure fracture of the femoral head. In the sense, it could be a fracture with pure dislocation. If there is a big posterior wall involvement of the acetabulum which is fractured, in such a case the stability test should not be done since invariably the hip joint will be fractured and every time we try to dislocate the joint, some part of articular cartilage may get damaged. Even in those conditions which seem to be pure dislocations and once reduction is done, the joint might not be stable. This may be due to the fact that there may be labral tears which are not seen on a plain radiograph. This causes hip joint to be unstable. Once the reduction is done, a repeat radiograph is taken and a CT scan is done at this point. Note that a CT scan is not taken before reduction since CT scan is required post reduction to know number one whether the joint is congruous or not, the reduction is congruent or not. Number two, whether there are any incarcerated fragments in the joint, and number three, whether there are any other associated fractures of say the acetabulum or the posterior wall which might have been overlooked on a plain radiograph. So invariably a CT scan will be required post reduction and hence a pre-reduction CT scan is not done unless we are suspecting a type 3 Pipkins, since a type 3 will have a fractured neck of femur and in this condition we might require a CT scan pre-reduction since anyway a closed reduction will not be done. A CT will be required in emergency situation to understand the fracture pattern properly and document it. So after reduction, stability test is done on table and then the patient is shifted for a post reduction radiograph as well as a CT scan. On the axial view in the CT scan, we need to see for the congruency of the reduction of the fragment as well as the congruency of the joint. There may be some incarcerated fragments within the joint which might lead to lateralization of the joint and it might look incongruous. Also, Other fractures like posterior wall and the acetabulum might be picked up, which might have been overlooked on plain radiograph. Coming to definitive management, it depends on the type of fracture pattern. For type 1 Pipkins, we could plan a conservative management if and only if an anatomic or near anatomic reduction of the femoral head fragment is achieved. That is, there has to be a less than 2 millimeter step off between the fractured fragment and the parent bone. The hip joint needs to be stable, and there must not be any interposed fragments which causes incongruency of the joint. So if all these three criteria are met, post reduction we might plan a conservative management if the fracture is truly infrafoveolar, since an infrafoveolar segment of the femoral head does not participate in weight bearing, and hence these fractured fragments could be neglected provided the joint is stable.